Yo, what's up? So I'm sitting right here doing a bunch of interviews. This is the screen that I'm sitting at. I'm just like a mess on this desk. Just like people watching from the window. I don't know why, I just love it so much. I don't know, testing. Yeah, let me turn the sound down. Oh. Yikes. This is gonna be really messy. But man, there's some honey on here. That's good. To be healthy. Keep my body and my mind healthy. So I'm sitting at my desk right now doing a lot of interviews, and this desk is in this like hotel room that I'm staying at, and I've pretty much been sitting here all day. Actually, there's this chair right there, and I sat in that chair next to all these windows for 8 hours on Sunday and read all day and took notes. I'm reading Naval Ravikant's book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, and that book is awesome. I mean, every sentence has so much in it that I'm just writing so many notes just about that. So anyway, I'm sitting right here doing a bunch of interviews. This is the screen that I'm sitting at. Obviously, there's just like a mess on this desk right now. This is how I just sit here and chill. Honestly, like I wasn't excited about doing all these interviews. It's a lot of work, a lot of time to do all these interviews, but sometimes you meet some rock stars when you're doing interviews, and that's what it's about. You know, where you're trying to find a match, right? I guess it's just like going to one of those dating apps like Tinder or Hinge or something like that, where, you know, maybe you're just looking for anyone to connect with, but really you should be looking for the right person to connect with. So you're trying to match up, right? Like you might have your thoughts of someone, but if they don't have the same thoughts as you don't match up, or vice versa. But if you both have the same thoughts and you go into it and your thoughts match, now that is awesome. So, you know, a lot of the interviews, you know, don't go so well, meaning that they're just not a good match, meaning the time wasn't that effective, but overall the time is really well spent, because when you go through a lot of interviews, you can tell what you want and what you don't want. I think that's the same thing with dating. So going through all these interviews, I'm seeing the people that are potentially the right matches, and then we need to have a few more conversations to find out if we are the right match for each other. Anyway, I have more interviews. I have another one coming right up, so I'm gonna hop on to that. So it looks like, I'm looking at my computer right now, it looks like I just had a no-show. Meaning I really don't think he's gonna show up because the meeting's about to end, but I decided to segment a lot of 15-minute meetings for the initial introduction, because there's so many meetings total that, you know, if they're going a long time, then you really can be wasting time. But 15 minutes means you have to be straight to the point. You find out if you match or don't match, and then you move on to the next one. And then you accumulate all those potential matches, then you have longer conversations with the one that potentially matches. Anyway, this guy that didn't show up, it's like 5 a.m. in Singapore right now, so maybe he'd have to get up early or something like that, and he just decided he didn't really want to, which shows enough for me. I mean, I'm not gonna reschedule with him. There are a lot of people that will get up early in the morning to make sure they have that one phone call and they go back to sleep. And if they do something like that, that shows the level of interest, their level of commitment into working with you. That's a very high level of commitment. And if that time doesn't work for them, they can always recommend another time, or you could try to figure something else out. But most likely, when you're trying to find people that are in other countries, they're gonna take time for you. They're gonna go out of their way to connect with you rather than trying to get you to go out of your way to connect with them. So, you know, you have 50 people, it might be 30 of them that go out of their way to connect with you, and 20 of them that ask you to go out of your way. Just forget those 20, don't even worry about them. Go with the 30 that took their time to connect with you. I feel like I'm like dropping an iron fist right now because if someone is not gonna be there on time, or if they're not gonna follow instructions, forget about them. There are some people that I'm like, I'll give a second chance to, but I'm still gonna hit them with an iron fist. So if someone misses a meeting time, I'm just saying, hey, feel free to record a video if you still wanna be considered for this job, answering the follow questions, and let us know your level of expertise by doing X, Y, and Z. So I'm having them go through extra steps And then if that works out, then I'll get them on a call. But likely they probably won't go through those extra steps. Oh, another thing. I was trying to find a video editor, and he's probably editing this video right now, but he went over and above to commit himself to editing videos. What I asked for was a sample of the video. I sent over a Google Drive folder with a bunch of videos and asked for a sample, and I asked for a sample from a lot of people. He was the only person that went ahead and like sent over a video without asking any questions. A lot of people asked a bunch of questions, kept going back and forth, and that's your time it's going to take away from you from doing all the other stuff by them asking all those questions. If they don't ask the questions, then they're fully using their own creativity and they're saving you a tremendous amount of time. And just by the initiative that person took to come onto the team and edit videos and edit it really quickly and put their time and energy into it, that shows worlds. And that's who you want to be part of your team. Blah, blah, blah. And that's who you want to be part of your team. From having so many of these interviews go out, I'm seeing some people come back with a lot of questions. I feel that if someone's doing it now when there aren't really that many questions to ask, they're probably going to do that a lot, which means it's going to take a lot more of your time when you're actually trying to communicate with them. What I'm saying now is kind of a guess, but if you ask someone to do some work and they just take it off your plate and go ahead and do it and give it back to you and it's awesome, they're probably going to work that way. That's probably their style. So the opposite of that is if you ask someone to do some work and they come back with 5 questions, and every time you answer a question, they'll come back with another question, and that might delay the process, like whatever it is, hours or a day. It takes a lot of your time, the refocusing to think back and answer their question, then go back to the work you're doing, then go back to answer their question, or even if they outline a bunch of questions at once and it takes your time to answer those questions, they're probably going to work that way. That means they're probably going to request a lot of information from you every time that you ask them to do some work. That is going to be a lot more time consuming and take a lot more of your time rather than having someone that just goes ahead and uses their own creativity and their own judgment to get it done.